This weather is great. This weather is great. Oh yeah, TV on the radio, 9 types of light. It's review time. Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. Thank you for watching The Needle Drop, where we blah 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 about la la la. Almond milk again. Chocolate. And I got some tea. Alright, before we get into this review on theneedledrop.com, if you're not already there, an MP3 from the new Natural Child LP 1971, going to be coming out on 4/20. Nice. Link down below. Well, nice. In this episode of The Needle Drop, we are reaching out and touching the new TV on the Radio LP 9 Types of Light. This is the band's 5th album, and we have to get one thing out of the way. Cal, what do you think of TV on the radio?
Are you crazy? I watch my TV on the TV, not the radio. Stupid.
Hence why I hate Cal Chuchesta and you guys keep asking for him. You're sick. I mean it. Well, if that didn't get you clicking off this video, maybe this next thing will. I've never been a gigantic fan of TV on the radio, sadly. Their whole discography has never really clicked with me. Their early stuff is really ambitious, and I love that, but the rough recordings the band was working with at the time I felt kept those songs from reaching their full potential. And while a later release like Return to Cookie Mountain does have more fidelity to it, some of the songs there are straightforward, and I like them, like the singles, but there are a lot of tracks on that LP that to me are like needlessly noisy. I enjoy noise, I enjoy effects, I enjoy additions to songs, but to me they weren't adding as much as they were distracting from the very simple song structures. So admittedly I kinda slept on this band and turned my back on them, and then Dear Science came up right behind me while I wasn't looking and ran a machete across my throat. To me, that album was extremely enjoyable. Really, really passionate vocals and lyrics. Great songwriting, arrangements, and personality on that LP too. This thing is a slight change of direction from earlier releases in that there's a pretty prominent love song theme throughout this thing. These guys have written love songs and songs about the emotion of love before, but this definitely takes multiple angles within one album's time span. One track, the first one that got released from this LP, Will Do, is a great example of the potential that these songs can reach. Really memorable, straightforward balladry, very poetic lyrics, and an eccentric sexiness that kind of reminds me of Prince. And Killer Crane is another great track. The lyrics don't stand out to me on this one as much as the blissful atmosphere and instrumentation do. I love the keys, I love the woodwinds matched up against these really kind of heavenly vocals and acoustic guitars. It's a really nice atmosphere. It's like listening to a sunset. Maybe more like listening to a sunrise. These are the tracks that, for me, like the planets align and something great happens, but that's not the case with every song. The really provocative and pretty good lyrics that are doled out like candy to a lot of these songs somehow escapes the track You, which describes a pretty tense and upsetting situation in the blandest way possible. New Cannonball Run has a lot of that soulful, eccentric energy behind it that I said earlier kind of remind me of Prince, and a lot of energy, but there's really not much of a song to back it up or a hook. On the track Keep Your Heart, though TV on the Radio uses the falsetto vocals that make them so distinct, and I like that, they write themselves out of their range a lot on that track, in the lows and the highs. I read and I watch a lot of reviews, and a lot of people I have come across complain of this magical thing called flow. But I feel like this is one of the first times I'm really kind of getting it. Though I like tracks on this album like No Future Shock and Caffeinated Consciousness for their sheer energy and just raw delivery. They kind of feel like unwelcome guests for me on this album. They're like my drinking buddies showing up in the middle of an intimate dinner I'm trying to have with my girlfriend. This LP kind of hits me in the same way the Strokes' latest album did. I have a real range of feelings on these songs. Some of them are going to be stuck in my head by winter. Some of them I feel like could have worked better on another album or with another take, and others just aren't doing a lot for me. Regardless of how I feel about the tracks individually, I'm just not really loving the album as a whole. I'm feeling like a strong 6 to a light 7 on this thing. But what do you think about this? Are you in love with it? Do you hate it? Are you kind of on the fence with it? How do you feel it compares with TV on the Radio's earlier stuff? And that's pretty much it. The review. Anthony Fantano, TV on the Radio, 9 Types of Light. Thank you for watching. Forever.